Hello everyone, and thanks for joining in today. We're going to be working on deconstructing a small portion of this collapsed barn. I've taken away 4 segments so far. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The far 2 over there were the worst weather damaged ones, and I didn't get a whole lot of lumber out of those, but the last 2 I've done have been really well covered with the tin and have protected the wood from any rot or any rain or snow or anything. Was built in 1900, so it's about 125 years old, and I believe it's all oak. And I've just been taking it apart and reclaiming the lumber that I find underneath of it. There's some very good stuff, some nice 2x4s, lots of boards that I've been working on making a wall on the outside of my good barn. But you can just kind of see what I get into underneath here. There's several very nice beams in here. A couple of them have got weathered and are no longer any good, but most of the large ones are still very usable. But I do have 15 more segments to do. This portion over here, this segment here is going to be not so nice, but you can see the rest of it should be fine, all covered up with the tin. And one segment is about 13 by 12 or 13-ish. And this one here is what I'm getting ready to work on now. I've kind of waited until I had a long day to work on it, because once I get started, I like to finish. I don't like to leave anything exposed after I take the tin off. I like to go ahead and get all the material out from underneath it and get it de-nailed and put away in my storage area. So I guess enough talking. Let's get working on this and see what kind of treasures we find underneath here. Hopefully some good stuff. So here's the tools I'm going to be using for today. We have the Bose speaker with the phone for some music. Got some cigarettes. Got a small sledgehammer, a regular hammer, and a 24-inch Gorilla bar. Some sweet tea. Already peeled the jacket off, and some work gloves. Let's get to it. So I've got all the tin off of this segment, and I've found that this segment has been constructed a little bit different than the other ones I've put together. In a couple places they've staggered the boards like here, instead of running a straight line of them across. Now that's going to be perfectly fine. There's still some good stuff here. So this segment hasn't been coming apart quite as well as the others have been. So I'm not getting quite the lumber out of here that I was expecting. These boards were just put in a little bit different. They crossed into the sections from the prior section that's still under the tin, and that hasn't been something that I experienced on the other 4 sections that I've done. And one of the pieces of tin was off of this section, so some of the end pieces over there have got weathered, and it's just kind of breaking these boards apart as I pull them off. I've only got like 3 good ones off of here, but I am ending up with about 5 2x4 by 10s, and that's true 2x4. It's not the the milled down stuff you get at Lowe's. That's like 1.5 by 3. These are true 2x4s. Also, I have these posts under here. This one looks like it may have broke, or I really can't tell. But at any rate, I do have, that's like a 8 by 8 by 8 probably. And there's another one right here. And I've also got, if you can see right here, that's like a 3 by 4 by 20. It's going to be a nice board. Some of these things I'm considering maybe making some mantles out of them and selling them, but I'm just really after the wood for myself and doing projects around the house, some remodeling. I'm going to use some of the tin for some walls in the house. It's going to turn out really cool. Yeah, I'm going to get a good score today at any rate. There's a lot of this stuff was covered up that I couldn't get to. There's another beam over here. It's 8 by 8 by probably 12, I would say. I'm going to use those for fence posts. I'm going to be building a fence in the spring out of wood. But yeah, I'm going to keep on working on this, and we'll see what we get into here. So today I did get accomplished what I set out to do, and that was to deconstruct this section here and the fallen over pieces of the siding. Got all that taken care of, torn apart. It was a little bit different than the rest of the sections that I've worked on so far. It had gotten a little bit weathered, and there were pieces that weren't as long as what I was looking for, and they were kind of breaking up and as I was pulling it apart. But nonetheless, I was able to score some good 2x4s. There was some other lumber underneath as well. And of course I got the tin, which isn't that nice off of this section, but it's still perfectly usable. I also got these busted beams. They aren't in that great a shape, but I think they're still going to be good for post for building a fence. and I have a lot more better ones in here left to get. But this next section should be pretty successful with getting some boards. As you can see, these are pretty nice, and they've been completely covered. There shouldn't be any damage underneath. But this project's moving along pretty nicely for me. You can see I have some stuff separated over here. I've got the trash pile here, and then some smaller piles of material that I'm saving. But the very good stuff, I've been loading it all up today. And this is the score. Now, of course, I do have to go in and clean this stuff up, remove the nails, cut off some ends that are bad or broken pieces or whatever. But this is all free. And I mean, if you take, for example, this board here looks like a 2x6 oak. I'll probably have to cut off a foot of it at the other end and maybe a couple inches on this end to get rid of these nails. But I mean, that's a very nice board. You would be paying $100 plus to pick up something like that at your local lumber yard. I wouldn't normally leave this exposed like this. I was actually even considering covering it up with some tin and tacking it back down. But I should have some time tomorrow to come up here and do another section. Looks like it's going to go really easy, and I'm not too worried about it. We're not going to get any precipitation tonight, so if I get to it tomorrow, it shouldn't be a problem at all. This side over here is pretty well shot. I'm probably going to find a couple pieces underneath, but for the most part, the siding is not usable. I am going to trim it up though into like 3-foot boards and see if I can clean it up and maybe resell it for home projects. But again, I do have a lot more stuff to pull out of here. A lot more material for my personal use, building on and fixing holes in the barn. And hey, thank you guys for checking out my channel. I hope you subscribe and like the videos. I do have another channel, Tony Mountains, which is skiing related and my time spent in Colorado. But I'm back here in Ohio now, doing this cool deconstruction of the barn, building up a little farm. Just having a good time with life, and I hope you are too. So till next time, we'll see you guys.